What's up, everybody? Justin here, live during Monday Night Raw's main event. It's going to be Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, but this is not what I'm here for. Not doing a Raw reaction, not doing a Raw live reaction. But I will be back tomorrow for SmackDown reactions. This is my Women in Wrestling show, Women in Wrestling series, a 10-part series. This is Women in Wrestling, part 6. Part 6. I'll give you 5 women's names of women wrestlers, valets, managers that I am a big fan of. So this is part 6 where I will go down number 24 to 20. So the list, this top 50 women in wrestling, all the names I came up with based on their looks, wrestling ability, promo skills, how good of a manager they were, stuff like that. So anyways, number 20, before I start, I just want to say women's wrestling has come a far, far way. It's been great the past, I would say, since 2014. And before that, I would say in 2013 in NXT, it was starting to really get pushed. Women's wrestling was really getting pushed starting, I would say, in 2013 in NXT. And then 2014, it really got good in NXT, the women's division. 2015, it got even better and better with Bayley and Sasha having an epic match at the first TakeOver Brooklyn in August 2015. The point I'm trying to make is women's wrestling has come a far way. Thank God it's out of the gutter. And I'm talking about 20 years ago. I'm talking about 17 years ago, 20 years ago. Thank God it's out of the garbage. Because what the women did, what they had them do in the Attitude Era was garbage. It was, looking back on it now, it was pathetic. Disrespectful to women, what they had them do. And Vince Russo, you're to blame. You're to blame for the Attitude Era. Not for all of it, but you're to blame for treating the women like garbage. Not saying a lot of the women were not garbage, especially Sunny. We saw how she turned out to be a real garbage person and human. She is a sick person. She needs help. I'm not going to bash Sable. And Jacqueline was part of the Attitude Era. I'm not going to bash her. She was a real women's wrestler. Was Jacqueline, a real tough woman. Could beat up probably 80% of men. Anyways, as Monday Night Raw's back on. Bobby Roode and Kevin Owens next week. But this is not about Monday Night Raw. I got it right in front of me, so I'll find out who wins the main event. I've seen Kevin Owens before, so I don't have to see it and be that focused on it. I just want to say women's wrestling has come a long way for the better. The so-called women's revolution, women's evolution, whatever you want to call it. Back when I'm not discrediting or disrespecting or discounting what Trish Stratus and Lita did. They were great. They did everything that they could. They fought for the women's division to get bigger and better. But I want to say what they had the women do in the Attitude Era in 17, 18, 16 years ago was pretty Not say, I'd say 17 years ago. Pretty stupid. The days of bra and panties matches, evening gown matches, swimming pool matches, bikini contests, those days are over. Hopefully, those days are dead and buried forever. I hope I never see those days again because I just want to see women's wrestling, good women's wrestling. And there's a ton of women. I I got 50 names down in this top 50 women in wrestling that were really good. Some were managers, some were not wrestlers, like Miss Elizabeth. She was number Miss Elizabeth on this top 50 was number 28. Miss Elizabeth was really good at what she did, even though she was not a wrestler. She didn't have to be. My point is, the women that are in wrestling today deserve the spotlight, deserve to be in main events every week, deserve to be pay per view main events all the time. The sky is the limit for what women in wrestling can do today. You can actually, you can be a small girl, be a fan of it right now, and in 5, 10 years, 15 years, you actually can get into wrestling and not be treated like garbage. You can be treated with respect, and you will be, hopefully, whoever the promoters are. Hopefully, if you're a woman in wrestling or getting into it or want to get into it, hopefully you're treated with respect. And I hope you get the same amount of money as the men do. I don't know if women will ever get the same amount of money and equal pay that the men wrestlers do. I don't know if that will ever happen, but they should get the same pay as the guys because they do just as much. They wrestle and they're on the road just as much. And plus, they got to deal with being a woman, looking good, working out. I'm going to say it right now. It's, I'm sure it's not easy being a woman. You're probably sexually harassed a lot. In my opinion, it's harder being a woman than a man. That's my opinion. So all these women on my top 50, I respect all these women so much. I'm a fan of all these women. I just want to say the women's revolution, women's wrestling revolution was not started by you, Stephanie McMahon. It was not started by you. I'm going to say, and I'm going to give the credit to your husband, is the guy that started it in WWE on the main roster because Triple H, he's running NXT. As I said, in 2013, in I believe 2012, in 2013, but mostly in 2014, Triple H pushed the women's division. I believe it was his idea, not Stephanie's idea. It was her husband's idea to push the women. Because I don't think Stephanie gave a damn about pushing them. And I don't think Vince McMahon gave a damn about pushing the women to be equal as good as the guys are and putting them in main events and letting them make history and be part of Royal Rumble matches, Elimination Chambers, ladder matches. If it wasn't for Triple H in WWE, outside of WWE, women's wrestling has been going well and been good for many, many years, over 10 years. You can see it in Shimmer. You can see it in the Japanese women's promotion, Stardom. There, women's wrestling has been thriving and doing damn good for a long time. In TNA, I'm going to give TNA credit. Impact Wrestling pushed the women big time, way before WWE pushed them. Impact Wrestling, TNA pushed the women very well with their Knockouts division. So many women they had, talented women that were good workers. ODB, Velvet Sky, Angelina Love, Tracy Brooks, Trinity, so many. Brooke Tessmacher, she was pretty good when she was wrestling. Even she was part of WWE first, but when Tiffany, well, she was named Tiffany in WWE ZCW. Well, Taryn Terrell, when she came to Impact Wrestling, she was used very well and given a really good opportunity, and she put on some really good matches with Gail Kim. Gotta give credit to Gail Kim in TNA. Gotta give credit to Awesome Kong. So many women. Cheerleader Melissa was in TNA Impact. She was Raisha Saeed. Taylor Wilde. So many women. I'll mention all those women. But anyways, here we go. I just want to say women's wrestling, and the women's wrestling revolution started in Shimmer. That's where I first got really excited about women's wrestling, when I started watching Shimmer for the first time and when I bought their DVDs. Not just Triple H is responsible, in my opinion, for pushing the women in the WWE and NXT, but this woman right here, Sarah Del Rey. She's a part of, I believe, NXT in the Performance Center backstage. She's a head trainer, Sarah Del Rey. She was in Shimmer a long time. She's the first ever Shimmer champion. Sarah Del Rey is also responsible for pushing the women to their limit and making the women in the WWE, training them, making them better and better. And I don't know if she was a agent. See a really bright light come on my face. It's because I got my TV turned so I can see it. Anyways, Sarah Del Rey, if she was an agent producing the women's matches in NXT, I believe she was. She's really responsible for pushing the women's revolution in WWE and NXT. Also, I'll give credit to Triple H. So, and also Impact Wrestling and Shimmer deserve a lot of credit. The most credit. The most credit goes to Shimmer. Shimmer women athletes. They have done so many shows. They start with Shimmer Volume 1. They have over 100 DVDs, over 100 shows they produced of great women's wrestling. Shimmer did it first. As I said, I bought the Shimmer wrestling women athletes. I bought their DVDs. And I was blown away at the women's wrestling. I was blown away at the wrestling. It was so damn good. And that's when I really, really became a fan of women's wrestling, was in 2006, 2007. From watching Shimmer, buying their DVDs. I have a lot of them. I have so many Shimmer DVDs. Anyways, my love for women's wrestling came from Shimmer and TNA in the Knockouts division, also from NXT. So here we go with the top 50. Here we go with some of the countdown. 5 names I'm going to give you. Number 24, Sarah Stock. She was in TNA Impact Wrestling, I believe 2008, 2009, 2010. She was there. Sarah Stock. She's wrestled in Mexico a long time. She's wrestled for Shimmer. Her name in TNA was Sarita, I believe. Anyways, she was a part of Shimmer. There's her picture right there. That's Sarah Stock. She is very good. Sarah Stock, number 24. She currently works backstage in the WWE, I believe on the main roster or in NXT as a producer, producing the matches on the main roster. So, number 24, Sarah Stock. She was great as a wrestler. I believe she's retired from the ring, even though she still looks really good, and I'm sure she could put on a great match. Number 23, I first saw her in Shimmer. She was also in Ring of Honor for a while. Daisy Hayes, number 23. Daisy Hayes was really, really good. Ballard and Ballard and Owens going at it. Anyways, number 23, Daisy Hayes. She's small. She's really small, but Dynamite comes in small packages. Daisy Hayes, number 23, really good wrestler. Number 22, also started in Shimmer. That's where I saw her for the first time, a Shimmer original. She's worked all over the world. She's worked for Shimmer. She's worked for Shine. She's been in the Mae Young Classic. Number 22, Mercedes Martinez. Damn good worker. Really, really good. Number 21. She started in the AWA. And then she went to WCW and got a really good opportunity. She was a really good manager, but she was a better wrestler. But in 91, 92, WCW wasn't letting her work with any women, really, because they had no other women on the roster that were wrestlers. Number 21. Number 21. She also went to WWF. She was Alundra Blaze, went back to WCW. She's a WWE Hall of Famer. She's great. She looks great. She was a great wrestler. She was a great manager. She had it all. Number 21, Medusa. Medusa, really good. She was really, really good. I feel she's underrated. Final name. Final name for part 6. The final name, number 20. She's a WWE Hall of Famer. She is passed away, sadly. Number 20 is, I'm going to quote what Bubba Ray Dudley said at the 2018 Hall of Fame. Bubba Ray Dudley said, Mae Young is the toughest guy I've ever met. That was great. She wasn't a guy, obviously, but it was a great quote. Mae Young is the toughest guy I've ever met in wrestling. That's what Bubba Ray Dudley said. Number 20 is Mae Young. You got to give Mae Young respect. She got into wrestling, I don't know what year she debuted. Maybe the 50s or early 60s, I don't know. But Mae Young, super tough. When she was like in her 80s, she was getting power bombed off the Raw stage by Bubba Ray Dudley. She was getting body slammed. She was getting beat up by some of the other women. Just Mae Young was really entertaining. Her time on WWE TV, Mae Young was really entertaining. I never saw her wrestle live. I never saw any of her matches anywhere. Not even on YouTube. But number 20 is Mae Young. It was obvious Mae Young loved the business. You could tell. She loved it. And she wanted to give back. And I'm really glad they named the Mae Young Classic after her to give her the respect she deserves. Rest in peace, Mae Young is number 20. This ends part 6 of my top 50 women in wrestling. Part 6 for now, everybody.